Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the fact that Wisconsin wants to join many of the other states that has legalized marijuana. And it says the title to the article is Wisconsin Democrats Announce Marijuana Legalization Bill. And I'll put a link to the article in the description for this video. But I want to be really clear, as I do in other videos, this is not a political statement. I'm not interested in political discussion. I don't care about your politics. But I do care about marijuana because I've seen what it does. And it's been an absolute unmitigated disaster here in Florida and many other states. But, you know, for a lot of these states, including Florida, the money was just too good to pass up. And it says here, in a bid to capitalize on recent bipartisan pushes to regulate the state's hemp industry, Wisconsin Democrats have introduced a bill to fully legalize marijuana. Says that, but the effort to create legal, recreational, and medical programs is all but sure to fail. I guess they have, the Republicans up there don't want it to pass. It says here the proposal would create a licensing system for growers, processors, and retailers and regulate the testing and distribution of marijuana products. It would create a process for reviewing the sentences of people locked up on drug charges with a path to vacating current convictions or expunging a person's record of past convictions. Look, I was prosecuted for many years. I was an intern in '93, and I was a full-time sworn assistant state attorney here in Palm Beach County from 1994 to 1999. Especially when I was a county court prosecutor, where I was chief of two divisions, we saw a lot of marijuana. And to be honest with you, even back then, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the United Kingdom. I had friends who used marijuana. And for the most part, most of them went on to have productive, and fulfilled lives. A couple of them went down the wrong path and ended up either dead or on the streets. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's what happened. So I wasn't that concerned about it, but it's been a disaster here in Florida. It really has. I mean, our cases when we first started doing this work in 2016 were really alcohol and recreational drug use type cases. And I'll include a little marijuana in there, but it really wasn't a lot of marijuana. And then two things really shifted the kinds of cases we get. COVID and the legalization of marijuana here in Florida. Because the marijuana of today is not the marijuana of the 80s, or frankly, even of the 90s when I was a prosecutor. And honestly, I'm not a fan of locking people up for marijuana. I might be a fan of locking them up if they're selling stuff and they're selling significant stuff to children. That I think is a serious problem. We shouldn't allow any selling of any drugs to minors. Period, end of story. I don't care what it is. And there should be severe punishments for that. But, we're seeing so many young adults under 25 who their brains have been permanently damaged by this legalized marijuana. This stuff is really dangerous. And I would encourage you as a parent to make sure that your children are not using this stuff. And I know I've been accused of being a party pooper in the past. And I'm a big believer in live and let live. And adults should be free to do what they do. But this stuff is bloody dangerous. And, but a lot of these states are making a lot of money off of the marijuana. And, unfortunately, when it comes to government managing, taxpayer money, they do a crappy job. So, I mean, yeah, they're saying, well, let's legalize because we make a lot of money. Well, guess what? You're going to be spending a lot more money on treating people who have marijuana-induced psychosis and schizophrenia, and you may be locking more people up. So it ain't all a windfall. And for the parents out there who are going to have to deal with this mess that it's going to create, you're going to have a problem on your hands. And my feeling is that we should not legalize it. But I'm just one person sitting here in an office in South Florida talking to mums and dads from all over the country. So what do I know? In any event, if you agree with me or disagree with me, one person called me a party pooper for telling him he couldn't sit in his house and get stoned all day. Listen, you're an adult. Do what you want. I'm just telling you what I see. This is the service I offer. I'm here to save families. And a lot of those families need saving because somebody not so smart in the legislature decided that the dollars and cents were too good to pass up, and they legalized marijuana, and now their state is a mess, including Florida, my home state. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say. If there's issues that you're seeing in your family and you want me to make a video, put it in the comments. I read all of them, and I typically respond within 24 hours. If you like this content, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm putting this content out there for you so you can get the information you need And if you want to call us and talk to our intake team about what options, legal and non-legal, may or may not be available to you, give us a call. We'd like to hear from you. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.